let's set up Google Scholar on your computer so that you can easily find research articles so that you can better understand the topic that you're studying about. One of the key aspects of research is finding out what other people have said about a topic, and the best way of doing that is reading peer-reviewed scientific articles on the topic. And there's several ways that you can get these peer-reviewed articles. One is to go through your school's library. So at Azusa Pacific, the APU library page looks like this, and they've got a quick search for everything. And when you do this, it's reasonably okay. However, I find that Google Scholar is a lot quicker for almost everything. So the first thing that you need to do is go to Google Scholar, and I Googled Google Scholar, and it says it's scholar.google.com. I have a shortcut on my normal browser that I use for this, and it takes us to a website that looks a lot like Google. Once it gets to know you, it'll start making recommendations for you. But what you need to do, first of all, is connect it to your library's website, because Google Scholar by itself will get you the PDF of any article that's already posted online freely. But a lot of articles, you have to go through your library, which has a subscription for most journal articles. So the way to connect Google Scholar to your library is you go over to the hamburger here, and you click that, and you go to settings, the gear, and then you go to library links. So hamburger, gear, library links, and it says you can connect to any library that you have an account for. Now, most of you will only have an account to your own school library, and so I will type in Azusa. I don't even need to type in Azusa Pacific University because there aren't a whole lot of universities with the word Azusa in it. Oh, I thought I was going to have problems there. And here we have Azusa Pacific University, APU Library. Then FT stands for Full Text Finder. So I'm going to click that, and then it's really important to press Save. Now, forever and ever, I no longer this browser will stay connected to it. So suppose I want to look up some topic in organizational psychology, like perceived organizational support. Perceived organizational, and by the time I get less than halfway through, it knows what I'm thinking of. So perceived organizational support is how much a person thinks that their company supports them, and it gives me lots of articles. And we've got the title of the article there, and it'll give us the articles that have our search terms in them first, and then it'll sort them by the number of times it's been cited. And that's a measure of how serious and important the article is. So here we have Eisenberger's main article from 1986 on perceived organizational support. He's the one that created the idea, and this was the original study, and it's been cited 10,408 times. That's a lot of citations. This is the main. If you're doing perceived organizational support, this is the one that you want to go to. Here we've got a 2001 article, Reciprocation of Perceived Organizational Support. And so that sounds like what happens when the organization supports you, how people respond reciprocally, maybe. And then we've got another one, Perceived Organizational Support, a review of the literature. Ooh, reviews are really good articles because that means a summary of everything that's been studied up to that point. So this is 2002, and so everything between 86 and 2002 would be summarized in here. And it's Eisenberger himself who wrote this review, and it's been cited over 7,000 times. And we go on down, and there's a lot of articles. Kind of a rule of thumb is anything that's been cited more than 100 times could be a very important article. So that's how we can tell that it's been cited. Now we've got some other things that are interesting here. We've got this little quotation mark here. If I click this, it says, hey, you want the APA formatted reference of it? And you click on it, it highlights it, and you can do copy. Now this is just kind of approximately the APA reference. We've got everything looks good. You've got the author's initials, date in parentheses, period, title, only the first letter capitalized in the title, and Journal of Applied Psychology. But look, it messed up on the capitalization of Journal of Applied Psychology. Volume 71 in italics, 3 not in italics. And then for the page number, it's only got the start page. It doesn't have the finish page. So I'd have to fix the capitalization and also actually go to that article and find out what the page number is. So I can copy that and put that in my reference page. Now, if I actually click on this, and I'm going to click so it opens a new tab, and it will take me to the publisher. This Journal of Applied Psychology is published by APA, and it gives the full APA reference there, pages 500 to 507. It gives the reference there, but it's get access, and if I get access, it's so you want to buy it, or you might we can check access there. But let's go back and see other ways of getting this. Now, one way of doing it is these are the direct links over here. And so first of all, it says, oh, look, there's a PDF with that title on academia.edu. Now, that's a pretty broad title, so that might be, but I'll try it, see if I can get it in one click. I clicked there, and sure enough, look, it took me to the article, a PDF. I got it in one click. I can download it and save it. Now let's see other ways that we can get this. We can go to the APU library full text finder. And so, because not all of them are going to have links, or sometimes they've got links to things that have the same title, but there's some other article. But if we were to go to some less common articles, I'm going to 5 here. Here, perceived organizational support as a mediator between relational exchange and organizational identification. Ooh, I have to go to the APU library full text finder to find it. So let me try that. Journal of Vocational Behavior. I'm not familiar with that. Let's see if APU has that online. I click on that, and it says request free copy of this article through Article Reach. Oh, this is an interlibrary loan. So if I want APU to send it to me in 3 days, I can do that, but I can't get it. There's no electronic version of that article. Let's go back to that first page, and let's go to this the review of the literature. So I'm going to click on, this was the 2002 review of the literature. I'm going to go to APU Library Full Text Finder, and it says find this article in full text from EBSCOhost. Generally, you want to choose, they'll give you a whole list of ways to find this article. Generally, it's the top one that you want to click on. So I click on this, and once a day I need to log into the library. So it's logging in. And here we have perceived organizational support, a review of the literature, and it gives me the text in HTML. Now, that's not good because the illustrations aren't there, the formatting's not good. You don't want to read the text in HTML. You always want to go to the PDF full text. So look around for the link for the PDF full text, click on that, and it will Now, it'll give it there, and we've got the typeset PDF of it with the all the notes and the references, and if there's diagrams. It doesn't look like there's very many diagrams or tables in this one. Oh, here's a table that you wouldn't have, kind of like giving the um, what other people have found about perceived organizational support. That's a major part of the article. And another table, so it'll all be together. So you want to always get the PDF, download it. Sometimes you might want to read it on the screen. Sometimes you might want to print it out. Do whatever works best for you. So that's how we can download from APU's library. And now something else that we can do is we can say, oh, these are 1986, 2001. Is there anything more modern? One thing that we can do is we can just click this button since 2016. And we've got an article on hotel employee job crafting, burnout and satisfaction, the moderating role of perceived organizational support. Job crafting is a hot topic. That's the idea of how letting employees design their own jobs so that they get to do the most fun things. And that's a hot topic. So that could be a real interesting topic. Here we've got optimizing perceived organizational support to enhance employee engagement. Now, employee engagement's a hot topic. That's basically how engaging employees find their work, how much fun they have doing their job. And so this is a way focuses on optimizing, find the best level of perceived organizational support. Not too much, not too little. And this is, again, Eisenberger. A lot of times you have a researcher who gives their entire life to studying one topic, and that's pretty much how Eisenberger is. He's done perceived organizational support, perceived coworker support, perceived supervisor support. His whole career has been focused on perceived support in organizational contexts. Now, this one, the International Journal of Hospitality Management, there's no link to that. That means we can't get it either online or through a PDF. Now, however, if you were to contact a librarian at APU, send them a message, I'm sure they'd be able to get you that. But the others, there's either links online or through the library to get them, these modern ones. Another good way of supporting things is looking for review articles. So if I put review in there, now sometimes review will be in the title, management research review. That might be I'm not sure what that article is, but if it has review in the title, that means it's a summary page. Not too many of these have a review in the title. Another way to find a good article is to search for meta-analysis and see what meta-analyses have done. So perceived organizational support, a meta-analytical evaluation of organizational support theory. This is a 2017 article. This is a key article, meta-analysis, seeing if the theory associated with perceived organizational support works. And there don't look like there's a whole lot of other meta-analyses done on perceived organizational support, but this one would be definitely a top one. Now, once you log into once you're logged into APU's library, the publishers know that you have a subscription. So we've got like Sage Pub. We can just click there, and it'll take us directly to the PDF because they know that APU has a subscription to it. So this is how we use Google Scholar to find the articles that we need. You can do it other ways. You can just use Google. You can go to the library. But I find that Google Scholar is the easiest way for me to find articles quickly on the web.